So what they are, Jim, Sheen, and Ya, they are coming from mid of the tongue, wasatul lisan. So these letters have exact place from where they are coming outside. Muhaqqaq, fixed. So these all five articulation divided into two categories. One is muhaqqaq. It means the letter has a fixed place. Of course, then it had these letters have a sifa also. Later on, we are going to discuss. So these articulation point in muhakkak, lips, tongue, and halak. What we have seen from tongue, there are 10 makharij and 18 letters. And from the lips, we have seen there are two makharij and four letters. And throat, we have seen three letters, three makharij and six huruf. And what about Al Khayshum and Al Jawf? Because we also, from first day, we are discussing this is also articulation point. Of course, these are, but from here, Al Jawf, we see they are the letters and both in Al Khayshum and Jawf. The two is we have seen that letters are not coming from here. Maybe the part of half of a letter is coming, for example, noon and meme. I told you its articulation point is divided dependent over the two things. One is on the meme, for example, meme. Meme is one articulation point, and second is meme's voice is traveling into nose, al khayshum, and create a gunna, little gunna. So this is sifa actually. Then we see al jawf, alif maddiya, waw maddiya, and ya maddiya are coming from jawf. Jawf is it is empty place between mouth and throat. So this place alif maddiya, ya maddiya, waw maddiya is coming, and from nose gunna is coming. So this is gunna is actual Sifa, adjective, characteristics. It is not a letter. Letter already we discussed. As I told you already, we have done 28 letters with 15 makharij. So, but if as tajweed point of view, if you look at, then 15 plus 1 alif maddiya, and we don't know from which place it is coming, exact place. That is muqaddar, qadar. Qadar mean no fixed place. But in Muhakka, it is a fixed place from where letters are coming outside. And here, Al Jawf, Alif Maddiya, Waw Maddiya, Ya Maddiya. This is actually what is Mad? If you remember, Mad is just to stretch the sound. So this is only helping in stretching the sound. Always we see Alif Maddiya, two counts, Madde Munfasil, Jaz, Madde Lazim. Only they are stretching 2 and 4 to 5 and 6 counts. And Al Khayshum, this is Gunna. This is also Sifa. So that's why the scholars of Tajweed divided the articulation point in five big articulation point and called common articulation points. محقق الشفتان اللسان الحلق الخيشوم and الجوف. This is common articulation point and this is detail articulation point. This is makharij ama in tajweed language and this is makharij khasa. Why khas special? Because the study we did it in very detail. For example, we have if we take lips letter, uh, for example, wow, we we have seen the wow coming from lips and the exact place is lip. And second thing is when we pronounce wow, we have to say or lips should be round. So fixed place. For example, if I discuss with the ha and the exact place is throat, halaq, and it is wasatul halaq, mid of the throat. So we have seen in detailed study of makharijim, uh, makharij muhakkak, that exact places are from where letters are coming outside. So this is all what we discussed just now. The articulation points, the al-khayshum, al-jawf alif maddiya, al-khayshum you have gunna, and this is akmal gunna, noon mushaddad and meme. It means two counts and two counts. But as I told you, meme and wow also their sound is traveling into nose. What is actually gunna? Gunna is take voice into nose. Maybe it is little and maybe it is longer. But the gunna, when noon has tashdid, it always is two counts. Gunna is a lot of long topic. We don't have time to discuss right now. There's Akmal Gunna, Sugra Gunna, and many Gunnas. So this is basic class. I'm not going to deal with that topic. So الشفتان there's ba mim and wow واو غير مادية and fa, and tongue letters we did all را نون طا دال تا ضاد ظا ثاء ضاد لام يا شين جيم, and kaf and qaf, throat letter غين خا hamza ha ain and ha. So let's move to Ashafatan. So can you tell me fa? What is the articulation point of fa? Yes,
ऊपर
शफतान होंठों से होते हैं
yes, this is from the lips. Want to say?
या
Yeah.
और हवा
मैम
निकलती जब बोलते हैं आखिर
ये
में हवा
हाँ जी ऊपर वाले दांत जो है वो नीचे वाले होंठ की गीली जगह पे लगते हैं तो
हम्म
दांत है
सही
ऊपर वाले दांत upper, how many teeth?
सामने वाले
हम
सॉरी सामने वाले
Front
सामने
two
वाले
teeth. Front
जी जी
two
फ्रंट
teeth
टू
only.
हम्म
The upper two teeth, not all teeth. आप सब नहीं कह सकते. Only upper two teeth. They comes on
अपर
the
टू
back inside lower lip. So fa is pronounced. Fa is light or heavy?
लाइट
Fa is light. Exactly. Fa is light. And it is articulation point is it is muhakkak. It's fixed or is muqaddar. It is not fixed.
मुहक्कक
Muhakkak is a
मुहक्कक
fixed, is a fixed.
फिक्स
Okay, it's fixed.
हम्म,
Another is we have ba. What is articulation of ba?
मैम
दोनों नरमी हाँ
दोनों
इसमें भी
होठों को
दोनों होंठ
गोल करके ये अदा होता है वाओ
नहीं
F. Okay, only one and two students are talking. What about the rest of? What is articulation of ba?
बा बा होंठ बा दोनों होंठ मिलते हैं तो
Yes, yes.
काला होता है और ये लाइट है
Meme and ba comes from when both lips are coming together,
हम्म
but there is
हम्म
little difference here. Meme is when dry parts of lips comes together, and
हम्म
ba is when wet part of the lips comes together. This
हम्म
is only differentiation. Differentiation. Next is wow.
होंठ
मैम
जब
ये
राउंड
दोनों होठों को हाँ जी
राउंड
गोल
गोल होते हैं जब दोनों
हाँ जी
होंठ
गोल
गोल
किया होते हैं तो वाओ दांत
So how many articulation points are on in lips? कितने
चार
मुखारिज?
चार होते हैं हाँ चार होते हैं
Four?
फोर
Sar,
थ्री मैम
how many articulation points are?
थ्री मुहक्किक है और जो वाव वो है वो मुकद्दर होगा
Why you taking now Muqaddar Muhakkak? Just this, I gave you the little extra point. It's not your topic.
Okay.
There are only two articulation points from where four letters are coming. One articulation point
Uh-huh.
from where ba, meme, and wow comes.
Wow.
Another articulation point is fa when
Wow.
upper teeth they are coming on the under inside the lower lip. नीचे वाले के होंठ के अंदर वाले हिस्से के जब ऊपर के दो दांत लगते हैं, दो दांत, only two teeth. So then this is articulation of there. It means lips has only two articulation point from
Mm.
where four letters are coming outside. You cannot say
Mm.
there are four articulation points. That answer is wrong.
Mm.
Write down in your notes. Don't go in a lot of detail, just to the point. I'm not going to have a lot of theory. I just wanted to know, do you know these things when you are reciting Quran? Another is we are moving to tongue letter. This is muhakkak, and it means every letter is coming outside from fixed place. Tongue, we have seen there are four portion. One is aqsal lisan, the deepest part of the tongue. Second is wasatul lisan,
Mm.
middle of the tongue. And third is hafatul lisan, side of the tongue. And fourth is taraful lisan, is front of the tongue.
Mm.
Another is ru's al lisan, it is little up to the top of the tongue. And ظهر al-lisan is top of the tongue, and ru's al-lisan, tip of the tongue. But we will dealing in the four portion. Okay. If I ask you dal, what is the articulation point of dal?
जुबान की जो नोक है वो ऊपर के दो दांतों से टच होती है।
दो दांतों की जो जड़ है उससे टच दाल।
Anyone else? Yes?
हम जुबान की नोक हम जुबान की नोक ऊपर वाले सामने वाले जो दांत है उनकी जड़ पे लगती है, जो हमारे मसूड़ों का ऊपरा हुआ हिस्सा होता है उस पे।
Hmm. 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 These letters are emitted from the top part of the tip of the tongue and the soft area above the gums of the two top incisors, where the roots are. This group is called huruf nitaiya due to their articulation position closer to the elevated area above the gums. Exactly. In simplify, the tip of the tongue goes opposite of the gums of two upper teeth. जो ऊपर के दो सामने दांत हैं उसके पीछे जो मसूड़े हैं उसको जाके जबान की नोक लगती है. Then the, dal and ta is coming outside. Ta is heavy or light?
सॉफ्ट हैवी है मैम।
लाइट।
हैवी
दाल में
हैवी
सॉफ्ट हैवी
Ta is heavy, dal is light,
लाइट
ta is
लाइट
light. Ta and dal has sukoon. What happens?
कलकला मैम।
Qalqala. And ta has sukoon. What happens?
हम्स
What is hums?
हम्स हवा में से
Air
मुंह से
comes
हवा
outside your mouth
नाउ
and qalqala is ad ato. Yes, what is the definition of these letters? Yes?
मैम
जबान
जाल और सा जुबान की नोक सामने वाले ऊपर और नीचे के दो दांतों के दरमियान में थोड़ी सी बाहर आती है और वो सा अदा होता है।
Yes. Sarah, are you understanding? Any confusion why you are quiet today?
The others are faster.
Okay. These three letters are articulated from between the tip of the tongue, from the top side of the tip and the bottom edges of the two top incisors. They are grouped as al-huruf al because their articulation point is somewhat close to the gums. I simplify when the tip of the tongue is you anybody can watch your tip of tongue. What I mean, your tip of the tongue is coming outside and it is visible to audience and it is between your two upper and lower incisors. These letters are soft letter. Dha, dal, and the. Dha is heavy and dal
Heavy.
and the is light. Okay. What about these letter? Which portion of tongue these are coming outside?
वस्तुल लिसान
It is wasatul lisan. It is the mid of the tongue. Exactly. And it's called huruf shajariya, jim, sheen, and
Shin
ya.
या
Is there light letters or heavy?
Light.
लाइट
Light.
Okay, this question I told you, but let's see. It's ya maddiya or this is a letter ya?
Yeah, madam.
This is a letter, right? Haraf.
लेटर
Okay, good. Because ya maddiya, alif maddiya, waw maddiya, this is I told you is coming from jawf, not from mid of the tongue. Be careful about this question. Jim, the little differentiation is between three letters. As I told you, when we see Jim, it's coming closer to the roof of mouth. And when Jim has sukoon, it kalkala comes. For the Hamza Fatah, Jim sukoon, aj, ij, uj, bouncing letter, bouncing sound, aj. And Sheen, it is little gap between mid of the tongue and roof of the mouth, and the sound comes tafashi, ash, showering.
शावर
Hamza fatha sheen sukoon, ash, ish, ush. You have to give the time. And yeah, it is lot of gap. Comparatively, it has lot of gap. If we have seen Jim and Sheen, see the gap. I, hmm, E. So this is the sound coming when when we are pronouncing yeah. But this yeah, as I told you, ghair maddiya. It mean it is not mad, alif maddiya, waw maddiya, ya maddiya. Okay, there were other letters. Whistling letter. When we pronounce, the whistling sound comes. सीटी की आवाज आती है वो कौन से हैं?
ज़ा सीन और साद
Z,
सीन
Sin, and
Four.
Sad.
और साद
Huruf Safir. Okay, what is
सफीर
definition? And it is also called Huruf Asliya.
असली
What is the definition?
सिटी की आवाज निकलती है ना जब याद आते हैं
नीचे
नीचे के जो दो दांत होते हैं वो जुबान की नोक को टच करते हैं. Upper two teeth touch the tongue.
Yes.
जुबान को
So what is definition? Why I'm doing? I'm recording as well. You watch it and revise. The seen, zai, sod are articulated by putting the end of the tip of the tongue on the palates of the two lower incisors. The sound then emitted from between the upper and lower front incisor. The group is called al-huruf al-asliya due to their emerging from the tip of the tongue. And of course, these sounds have whistling sound. Only these three are the letter which have whistling sound. What are these letters? These are zai, za, sin, and sod. So tip of the tongue, I simplify, tip of the tongue comes on the back palate of the lower two incisor. नीचे के जो दो दांत है उसके पीछे आके जबान की नोक लगती है, वहां से सीन सौद एंड जाई अदा होता है. So is what about sod? Is heavy or light?
heavy.
All heavy.
And seen and za?
Light.
Light. Light.
If seen has sukoon as
वो भी हवा में
इसमें
as
अस
इसमें विसल भी होगी और
हवा
हम्स भी
भी
होगी.
निकल
Hums भी होता
don't mix this thing. Only focus on whistling. As and as. Three must have whistling sound. So, Mira, the question you dealt, you are right, but I'm not going to discuss right now. We are on articulation point. We come when we will be on Sifat al Huruf, inshallah. From next week, we are going to have detailed study. And Sifat, they comes in Arabic language in the Quran. What we learned is the 5 to 7 Sifat we have to study. Every letter, just now, right now, I'm focusing on one Sifa or two Sifa to just make easy to understand. But when we go in Sifat course, one letter has many Sifat. For example, Dal. Dal is Tefal because the light. Dal is Sukoon, then Qalqala. And Dal doesn't have, Dal is Infita. So many we are going to discuss about, but not right now. Yes. Then comes to the lam and the ra. What are, okay, tell me the lam, ra, and noon. What is different? What is the definition of ra?
मैम जुबान का सामने वाला हिस्सा ऊपर वाले तालु को जुबान टच करता है, थोड़ा सी जुबान टेढ़ी करके, तो रॉ अदा आता है. रॉ.
Anyone else?
ये जुबान की नोक जो ऊपर के दांतों की जड़ से लगती है तो और मोटा पड़ा जाता है ये.
नोक और जुबान की सतह थोड़ी सी ऊपर के दांत के मसूड़ों को लगे तो है और ये हैवी लेटर.
Lam and ra and noon, they have same makhraj. They're coming from tip of the tongue. But ra, when tip of the tongue, tip of the tongue and little, for example, ra, tip of the tongue and little top of the tongue, they are coming up on the back of upper to incisors gums. What I mean that they are touching the gums of upper two teeth. So the raw is coming outside. Only little differentiation is the tip of the tongue and little upper top of the tongue. The two places of tongue they are touching the back of uh, upper two incisors gum. And noon, it is only tip of the tongue touching the gums of upper two incisors teeth, the gums of upper two incisors. And noon, when we pronouncing noon, then one portion is this articulation point, second is the voice goes into nose. So we can say there are two parts of makharij. One is when touching the tip of the tongue, touching tip of the tongue, touch to back of upper to incisors, it means gums, and second, voice travels into nose. Be careful about. And raw tip of the tongue and little upper portion of the tongue, they goes touches to back of the upper two incisors gums. Okay, another is okay, then comes to the hafatul lisan. Hafatul lisan, dad, and there is lam. What is definition of dad and lam?
दांत जब हमारी जुबान ऊपर के पीछे वाले 8 दांतों के मसूड़ों को लगे तो दाद अदा होता है और ये हैवी लेटर है
Hmm. Dot, it is articulated from one of the sides or edges of the tongue or from both together, and what lies opposite to it of the internal surface of the upper molars. I simplify. When our back of the tongue goes up and touches the inside molars, and these are 8 teeth. दाने कितनी 8 पीछे जो दाने के अंदरूनी से मे बी इट इज लेफ्ट साइड राइट साइड और both sides. That I gave you example Umar radiallahu ta'ala anha. He used to recite Dod with both right and left both sides. Dod. So this is actually articulation point. It is heavy letter when Dod is sukoon, is the tala, it's long voice. You cannot leave the place. And second is lam. It is coming from طرف اللسان, حافة اللسان. It was أقصى اللسان, and this was أدنى حافة اللسان. This letter's articulation point is from the nearest part of the sides of the tongue nearest to the mouth until the sides and at the tip, and what lies opposite to it of the gums of the first two upper premolars, the two upper canines, and the two upper lateral incisors, and the two upper front incisors. Its articulation point is the front side of the tongue, whereas the dod is from the posterior side of the tongue. Very easy. Dod पीछे होगा और lam and the front होगा. And this is lam is also touching the 8 front teeth. From here to here, this is a portion of the lam. This portion is touching to the front of the front 8 teeth gums. Okay. Now we are moving. Okay, throat letter. This is a 3 articulation point, and from 3 articulation points, 6 letters are coming outside. This is Adn al-Halaq, this Wasat al-Halaq, and this Aqsa al-Halaq. From here, Kha and Ghain is coming. Kha and Ghain is heavy letter, and mid of the tongue, Ha and Ain, and this portion, Hamza and Ha is coming outside. The problem is always happening between Ain and Hamza and Ha and Ha. So when you recite, focus. This is Ain, this mid of the throat. Ha, mid of the throat. This is the surface of the throat. Kha and Ghain. And Hamza and Ha. This is lower portion of throat. So two last articulation point which we have left, these are حروف اللهاتية, and حروف اللهاتية, they are coming from أقصى اللسان, back of the tongue, Qaf and kaf. Do you know some definition of qaf and kaf? Yes.
खौफ जुबान के आखिरी हिस्से को टच होती है और ये हैवी लेटर है, जब इस पे सुकून होगा तो कलकला होगा।
Yes. Don't have this. Yes. Qaf and kaf. If I take a definition of qaf, see, this is the position. This letter is pronounced from the deepest part of the tongue and that which lies opposite to it of the soft palate. नरम हिस्सा ऊपर से soft palate. तालू नरम होना चाहिए. When qaf is sukoon, the sifa comes up, qalqala. And kaf, it is articulated from the deepest part of the tongue and that which lies opposite to it of the roof of the mouth of the soft tissues and bony palate, the hard palate. The kaf is under the qaf a little, meaning closer to the mouth and the farther from the throat than the qaf. Kaf is sukoon, then we do hums. It means hawa comes outside your mouth. So this kaf, it is coming from soft tissues and hard palate. Qaf comes only soft palate. Qaf is heavy. Kaf is light. So these
Light.
are all articulation point we done.
Mm.
Alhamdulillah. So this, if I compile, then from tongue 10 makharij, huruf 18, lips 2 makharij, 4 huruf, the throat 3 makharij, 6 letter, total makharij 15 and letters 28. Jazakumullah khairan kathira.